Black Friday is so much fun for me. I have a running list on my phone that I keep updated with all the things that I want to buy. And I'm talking only about makeup in this video. Okay, first let me tell you about the key parts of my Black Friday strategy. Starting about a week before Black Friday, every morning when I get up, I go on Instagram on my phone and I check two accounts, Beauty Deals BFF and the Beauty Steal. And I check those two accounts first thing in the morning because they post the latest deals. So instead of checking different stores' websites, I know that I just have to check those two and I'll know of all of the new deals. The other thing I do is that I go on YouTube, and some of my favorite YouTubers, they post also about the latest deals. So I pay attention to see if there were deals that did not come up on Instagram that I found out on YouTube. Okay, there was one, but I'm gonna get to that. I like to check Morgan Turner's channel and Patty Alonso's channel to see what deals they post. So I knew that if I checked those four places that I was gonna be covered. So let's start with what I got. I was looking at two different sets of things that I wanted to buy. On one hand, I had my list of things that I've been compiling throughout the year that I've been meaning to try at some point. And then on the other hand, I was just open for brands to wow me with their deals. And any deal that was about 40% and more, I would pay attention to. So let's start with a good one. This foundation from Tom Ford. This is usually $90 and it was for sale half off at Sephora. I found out about this deal, I don't know. I know that Morgan posted about it and also on Instagram. What's really fun about these deals is that you have to act quickly. I checked it in the morning, I looked at the shades and I was like, oh my God, I just don't know what shade I am. I waited like 3 hours. When I logged on to Sephora again, a lot of the shades were already sold out. So I was like, okay, I just gotta pick one and go with it. So I went with 5.1 Cool Almond and I'm so glad I did. This is almost a perfect match. So love this foundation. I'm really glad I got it. I think this is my first luxury foundation, so I'm feeling super fancy now. So that was a super good deal. Another fantastic deal was Sigma. Sigma makes brushes and makeup, and they had a sale of 40% off going. This is a brush, mainly I wanted it for cream and liquid blushes because there's many times that I'll be comparing several liquid blushes and I wanted to have like one brush per blush so that I wouldn't contaminate them. And this one, I've used it twice and I really like it so far. So yeah, damn good deal, 40% off. Then this one was really the Sephora sale, but let's just group it under the Black Friday umbrella. You know how they put their Sephora collection items 30% off? I'm a huge fan of their brushes and I really wanted a soft and dense bronzer brush for cream bronzers, and this one is working so well. I love it. Number 88. So this was another really good find. At this point, I think it was the day of Black Friday and I was hoping that these brands would have some deals. Lisa Eldridge, Victoria Beckham, House Labs. Those three, they had some discounts, but it was like, I don't know, 10, 15, maybe 20% off. And that just was not impressive. But there was one brand that really stood out. 50% off of the whole site, and that is Give by Gwen Stefani. Her brand, I didn't have anything on my list that I necessarily wanted to get, but I couldn't resist the sale. So I picked up a few things of the brand that I hadn't tried before. I picked up the Pick It Up Cream Contour and Powder Bronzer Duo. I'm happily surprised and impressed by it. First of all, this is scented, so you might not like the scent. I like it. I think it smells, I said in another video, it smells like my grandmother's makeup. I absolutely love this scent. What impressed me about this one is this contour. So you have the contour and a powder bronzer. This contour, the texture, it reminds me of the Makeup by Mario, this guy, the skin enhancer that I love so much. You see the texture, how emollient it is. So let me just swatch them side by side. So even though this is a contour, yeah, I guess you can contour with it, but it's not a very gray shade. It's more of a bronzer shade in my opinion. But you see it's pigmented, but you can sheer it out. And let me look at Mario. So you can see the texture of the balms because that's what they feel like. They feel very balmy. Okay, so I have the Give one here and this is Mario. So Mario's is not as warm and it shears out a little bit easier than Give, but they are both very easy to use. And the reason why I like this texture in particular is because after you've put on your foundation and you want to go in with bronzer or contour, the last thing you want to do is have to really buff and swipe your contour or bronzer on, because you're going to move the foundation that you just laid down underneath. So I want a product, a contour bronzer, that it can easily be just pressed onto the skin without having to buff. And that's why I like this balm texture so much. Now, the downside that I found with this product was I was using this brush, which is it's kind of large. So this pan size is kind of small. So if your brush is big, you're gonna get the product all around the black plastic here. And if you don't care, fantastic, but I do. I don't like to have the product sitting where it doesn't go on the compact. So I was always kind of like wiping off around the pan. So I was like, well, instead of doing that, let's just find a smaller brush, right? So I started using this brush with it. This is an e.l.f. putty bronzer brush, and look at this size, just fits perfectly in there and keeps everything nice and neat. The product doesn't get all over the place. Second, down here is the bronzer. No complaints about the powder bronzer, but the cream one stood out more to me. The bronzer is just a bronzer. What else did I pick up from her brand? Okay. Eyeliners. I've been wanting to try an eyeliner from her brand. So I got this one. It's called Give Line It Up in the shade Acting Shady. I wanted a shade that wasn't a black or a brown. This is a gray color. What do I think of it? I like it. I would say that to me it's probably like, it's a good eyeliner. It's pigmented. You can smudge it out very easily. You know that I have my favorites, the Lisa Eldridge and the Victoria Beckham. Lisa Eldridge and Victoria Beckham are really my top notch to me. But this one, I will reach for it. I do like, again, that it's pigmented, that it doesn't feel scratchy when you put it on, because that's my thing. If it feels scratchy, or even if it doesn't feel scratchy at first, but you have to go over the line over and over and over, you know, the skin on our eyelids is so delicate that all the tugging, you're gonna irritate it, and I don't want to have to do that. So for the eyeliner to be pigmented enough to just go on 1 or 2 or even 3 swipes, and that's it. That's what I'm looking for, and this gives it to me. So I am very happy with this eyeliner. And keeping on with the Give brand, this is Gwen Stefani. I love her aesthetic. I like the red lips, and when I saw this lip liner, a red lip liner, I said, let's get it. Let's see what Gwen Stefani can do with a red lip liner. And I am so glad I did. When I first saw the lip liner, I was like, how the hell? Because it's a very interesting shape, and it's called an overlining lip pencil. So I thought, okay, so the shape must be such that makes it easier to overline, but how? I was gonna Google it, and then I was like, okay, no, that's ridiculous. I don't need to Google how to use a lip liner. Let me just try it. This was so intuitive. As I was using it, I found myself being like, oh, like, yes, this shape really does a good job. You see how thin and sharp it is. That comes in handy when you're overlining. With a regular lip liner, if it's not super sharp, if you don't have a really fine point, it'll get messy. It'll kind of get all over the place. When you're overlining, you might draw unnecessarily thick or wide lines, whereas that's not the case with this one. This shape makes it really easy to be precise whilst you're overlining, not to go over the overlining, if that makes sense. So I'm happy. I am very happy with this lip liner. Let's see. So these are the 3 things that I picked up from the Give brand. Another key component of my Black Friday strategy is signing up for text messages from the brands that I am interested in buying more stuff from. And those are Danessa Myricks, Rare Beauty, and Makeup by Mario. And I already mentioned Victoria Beckham, Lisa Eldridge, and House Labs. And I think Huda Beauty. Anyway, so I kept getting, text messages and emails from them, but the sales, they weren't high enough. And I don't know around what date that Makeup by Mario put out its Black Friday sale, and it was only 25%. I was like, totally sucks, because I had a lot of things from Makeup by Mario on my list. Luckily, all this stuff that I've been buying from his brand throughout the year, I bought it on his website. So I had points already that had been accumulating. I'm like, all right, so this is a time. 25%, I'll take it. I'll use my points. Let's just once and for all, because this happened to me last year during Black Friday, I wanted to get his sculpting stick, his bronzer, no, what is it, contour, right? Soft sculpt shaping stick. Again, these are items that I have heard other YouTubers or just other people talk about, that maybe I've seen them not just once, but twice or 3 times from different people that have said they really like them. And this is one that I had on my list last year. And when I finally pulled the trigger, they had sold out. So I never got it last year. So when I saw it this year, I was like, okay, this is a year. I'm gonna get it. I also wanted to get his powder bronzer because I've heard that the one in the shade light medium, that the tone is really nice, and when I went to look for it, it was out of stock. So that guy will probably wait until next year. The other things that I had on my list from Makeup by Mario were an eyeliner called the Perfect Brown. I'm having this thing with eyeliners. I just want to know what is out there when it comes to eyeliners. And I was so pleasantly surprised with this one. It's pigmented, it's creamy, so you can smudge it very easily. I'm wearing it right now under the liquid liner. And it's a really nice brown. And you're probably thinking, well, what do you mean by nice brown? What's a nice brown to you? Let me show you. Okay, I grabbed several, but maybe I'll just be quicker about it and I'll show you. So, for example, this is a brown. Let me compare it to the Mario one. Okay, you see the difference? How much more pigmented it is. It's a lot darker. In order to build this up, if I want to really define the lash line, I have to go over it over and over and over. And then the eye starts looking more like this reddish color rather than just building up to being an almost black. This is like a milk chocolate, and this, think of it as like a dark chocolate. So this, to me, this is the kind of brown that I was looking for. I'm curious to see it side by side with something like the Natasha Denona, which I was disappointed by this one because of the performance. I just thought that it was gonna be a lot, I guess, smudgier, but I found that I had to apply a lot of pressure, even though it doesn't seem like it right now because this is the back of my hand. But you see the colors, that they are pretty similar, these two. It's not like this one. This is more a cinnamon color, and that is not what I wanted. So I'm very happy with the purchase of this eyeliner. Love the color, love the consistency. I have also been hearing a lot of good things about the Makeup by Mario lip liner in the color Milk Chocolate. And one of the things that I heard about this particular shade is that, you know how if you want to contour your lips, you'll draw with like a brownish bronzer color. You'll draw a little bit above your Cupid's bow and then below here the center of your lip line. And it looked really great because it gave my lips the definition that I wanted to then put the red over it. But also it served as like a lip contouring on those parts of the lips because it is a perfect shade to contour your lips and put it all around your lips. Yeah, I just think it's a fantastic shade, and it is pigmented, it is creamy but not too creamy. And the brush on the other side, you get a brush, very handy just to blend out the line if you want a more blurred effect. I'm very happy with this Milk Chocolate liner, but now I'm curious, really, how different is it to something that I've been reaching for? I've been reaching a lot for this lip liner from Anastasia in Cool Brown. It's a tad too dark on my lips. I blend it out and I think it looks really nice. This is Iconic Nude. So just in case you want point of reference here. Yes, they are similar shades. Definitely the Cool Brown is darker and not as pink toned as the Charlotte Tilbury. And now, wrong side, let's look at Milk Chocolate. Well, actually, now that I see it compared to these others, this one looks even darker. Interesting, because when I tried it on, it just didn't feel as dark as I thought this one was. But anyway, I love it. I love all of these. Very happy with my purchase. That is a wooden pencil, so you can sharpen this to a fine point. I guess you cut the others, but they're just harder. I don't know. I find these, not the plasticky pencils, to be kind of a pain in the butt. The other thing I got from Mario, when his lip balms first came out, I got one, the full size one in like mauve glow. And I wanted to see how much was in the package, so I twisted it all the way up. Well, it turns out that you cannot twist it back down. It stays out. I was so sad that I ruined my lip balm. I wasn't gonna throw it away, so I chopped off the stick of product and I put it in a little container. But do you think that I ever reach for this? No, because it's a pain in the butt. I don't want to reach into it with my fingers because then it'll get my fingers all... Yeah, it's just not ideal. But my little label, Mario Mauve Glow. But I don't reach for this. So I didn't repurchase it. But then when I saw that he came out with these duos, I hit add to cart so fast. Again, I was afraid that they would run out because I know that this is a very popular product. And I think they come in 3 sets of shades. This one in particular has Mauve Glow, which is the one that I initially bought and ruined, and Mocha Glow. What I love about these lip balms is that they're super shiny. They're like those lip gloss in a stick kind of products. It has a cooling sensation. It doesn't tingle. It just has a slight minty sensation, and they feel very hydrating, and they add a little bit of color to the lips. Not a lot. I'll put on Mocha Glow so you see it. So you see that shine and a hint of color. So again, this is Mocha Glow. Highly, highly recommend. I don't think that it has a plumping effect, really. Maybe they might look a little bit fuller because it's one of those products that they seem to smooth out your lines. Not completely, it doesn't work miracles, but I think that I can see what they mean by plumping, but don't expect a super plumping, tingly effect. The other item that I've had of his on my list since last year was one of his glittery toppers. It's called the Master Crystal Reflector, and this is just a glitter in the shade Quartz, and let me show you what it looks like here in the back of my hand. So looking at the swatch on the back of my hand, you see that it's like a topper. The sparkles, they are the same size. The particles do not uniformly go on. They're more scattered. This gives you like a twinkly scattered effect. It's very much like a topper, and it gives you that sort of wet look to the lid, which I absolutely love. And because the base is sheer, you can put it on really any color eyeshadow just when you want to add that sparkle. So I'm really happy that I got it. I knew that I was gonna like it because I expected it to be somewhat similar to the sparkles in his ethereal palette, and I love those glitter slash shimmer slash wet look shades. So I knew I was gonna like it. Let's see, is that it from Mario? Yes. Because I already said that sadly they ran out of the light medium bronzer. Let's see, what's another incredible deal that I came across? Yes, and I think this was Ulta, that they had a few brands on sale 50% off, and one of them was Fenty. Ever since Rihanna did the Super Bowl, the halftime show, and she was wearing that red lipstick called the MVP from her own brand, I was like, oh, I want to try that. I want to get it. It looks amazing. So when I saw it 50% off, I was like, yeah, of course. And that's what I'm wearing. Even though it's a liquid lipstick, it doesn't feel like it dries up your lips. It's actually very comfortable. Do make sure that your lips are properly hydrated. As long as you start off with hydrated lips, I think that this is a really good formula. Super comfortable. The color, I think the color is beautiful. I really like this color. So yeah, 50% off. I was very happy with that. What else? Oh, I've had my eye on this for a while. Ever since I tried the Givenchy Prisma Libre setting powder, and then I saw they came out with blushes. I was like, oh my god, I have to try their blushes. Was I expecting the brand to come out with a very enticing sale? no. I knew that the best sale that I was gonna find was probably gonna be the Sephora VIB sale. So 20% off, I took it and I got one of the Prisma Libre blushes. This one is number 4, Organza Cien, and I like it. Don't expect exactly the same finish as the setting powder. The setting powder does mattify, even though, I mean, this one, I guess, mattifies a little bit, but as a natural finish, which makes sense because this is a blush. It's really not meant to be the setting mattifying powder. This is a blush. It does give you the blurring factor. So you get blur. It's such a light powder. It's just a beautiful formula. I didn't think that I was going to reach for it often because, I mean, it's not super practical to have to... It does have a fragrance, by the way. I don't mind it, but you know, luxury brands normally they're heavily perfumed. But I had to know what this formula was gonna look like, and I like it. Whether I will reach for it a lot, given that it's in this loose powder format, I don't know. We'll see. I'll keep you posted. So going back to my Black Friday strategy, the one thing that I am going to implement next year is that those Instagram accounts and the YouTube accounts that I was monitoring every morning, I need to turn on notifications for them because I missed on this incredible deal because I did not have my notifications turned on. Hourglass had a site-wide 50% off that people are saying is a glitch, that the website had a glitch because it only lasted 2 hours. If you didn't get your order in those 2 hours, the code wouldn't work anymore. I did not find out about that code until it was too late. Was it really a glitch or was it intentional from the brand? It doesn't matter. The point is that if I would have had notifications turned on, I would have been alerted of that deal. So yeah, that one hurt a little bit. But you know what? Once I have that missing piece taken care of for next year, no deal will escape me. Now, I'd love to know if you guys have any advice, any tips on any other strategies that I should be aware of by the time next Black Friday rolls around. This year, the sales got dragged on. Instead of just being Cyber Monday, I saw that I was getting emails from brands saying, oh, Cyber Tuesday sales, and then, oh, Cyber Week. Everything, the deals were extended like a whole week after Black Friday. Did you find any other really good deals that I did not mention in this video? Let everybody know down below because I'm gonna put them down on my list so that I don't miss them next year. I want to be prepared. All right, guys, that's it for me today. I will see you in the next one. Bye.